Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it. If you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into all of these topics, subjects, looking for potential investment opportunities and sharing them with everyone in the community. I will be releasing a midweek update for tomorrow. I usually release those late Tuesday, um, so it's available during the midweek on Wednesday. That's where I share kind of what I'm looking at, the entry points from a technical analysis perspective, things that are beaten down that I would be entering, and then you can see my entry points on the website. If that interests you, we've got a special coupon code. Special is the coupon code half off, first month only on a monthly membership, and a larger discount on the yearly membership. So let's dive in there, take a look, see what's going on today. We're going to start with the DXY like we normally do. We are slightly lower to flat today with the dollar. We do have a little bit weaker yields. So what's important here is this going to continue on up, or are we going to roll over here? If it rolls over and goes down, that's going to be a tailwind for our commodities because commodities are priced in dollars. It will also cause a rotation of money into different currencies outside of the dollar, the ones that are outperforming versus a weaker dollar that generally is the driver of money going away from. So these bull markets were all commodity bull markets as the dollar fell, and emerging. A lot of them were emerging markets too. The 2-year yield fallen a little bit today, kind of a mixed signal here. We were down today, but that still looks like a bullish upward move as the buying pressure was greater than the selling pressure. That could be seen as what I call a bloody nose, a continuation pattern upward. But if you look at the bigger picture, we still haven't broken out of this resistance there. One could argue that we're in a channel. We entered the channel coming from the top side down, and we're just consolidating. All valid points. So we need to see strength if we're going to break out, or weakness if we're going to break out to the downside. Right now, we're just kind of waiting in this indecisive period between the channel here. The 10-year yield, we're up against resistance. I'm going to take this bottom line out. It's not a real good line, but we've got resistance up there. We're trying to break through it. We'll see if we get through it. We've got support of the bigger pattern underneath us. If I were to make a guess, and this is a total guess, I mean, there's so much going on here. We've got support going across here, right? We're above that. But then one could say, well, hold on, this is a shoulder, head, shoulder pattern. Like, okay, yeah, that's valid, I guess. And then you can say, well, this is a 3-hump consolidation that we've broken to the upside, and that this is a retest to break higher. Guys, all of those are valid. That in the short term here, you can get pretty mixed up. You can get pretty mixed up here. What I would do is just sit and wait. Right now, if you're asking me, does this look bearish or bullish? I'd say it has a chance of breaking out as there's not a lot of selling pressure there. We've got the 30-year yield also breaking to the upside, which makes me go back to the 10-year and say, yeah, the 30 year is breaking out. Maybe the 10-year will break out to the upside too. That looks good to go higher. So you kind of have to stack this information on top of each other. 3-hump consolidation. So this is, we've entered it from the top side up. This is a consolidation that we've broken to the upside. Here's your retest. And that usually works its way on up. So again, longer term, the 30-year looks like it could go higher. The 10-year could potentially go higher, but there are some other patterns that people might see in here. We'll have to wait and see which direction it goes. TYX, TNX ratio moving higher, that's generally good for precious metals to go up. So whenever we get this to come on up, that is a tailwind behind gold specifically, and sometimes it carries into some of the other metals. TLT bond prices are flat, moving nowhere. We've got the 2 and 10 yield curve flat, moving nowhere, and we could very well be in this declining wedge that is about to break out, and that's what it looks like to me, which means the yield curve will invert again. Think of inflation, energy, fertilizers, like they will be in favor if we break. But that's what I see, and we see very small selling pressure here. And again, we'll see what happens. I mean, Besant's going to have to get in here and dive bomb this thing if he wants rates lower. Besant and Powell. Gold up $10 an ounce. It is moving up a little bit. Uh, it looks good. I mean, there's nothing here that says that it looks horrible. One thing I do look at, we get the stair step pattern there. That looks pretty good. It's still intact. Another thing that we want to look at is the size of the moves. So sometimes you want to see, like the size that we get here. If that really starts to contract and go to nothing here, then it could potentially roll over. But right now it looks good. Silver also up pretty big today, 2.23%. It's working its way on up. Everything looks good still, and there's no reversal candlestick, nothing like that. We've got, and I can take this off here. We don't need this. We've got platinum up about 1% today. We're still squeezing. Squeezy for cheesy. We've got palladium up slightly, and it is still chopping sideways here. Nice little chop here going on back and forth. That's that dead period. Usually what you'll see is you'll see the highs and then the lows will compress into some corner here. And then you get a big break, probably upside because we're below the cost curve for platinum group metals. GDX is up 1.74. GDXJ is up and SILJ is up. Not confidence inspiring with these big wicks at the top on all of them. But they look okay. And if gold and silver continue higher, I don't see why these wouldn't continue on up. These look good. And nice little bottom base bull move going on. And it looks fantastic from a longer term perspective. XAU to gold ratio, we had outperformance of gold and silver mining companies today. And we're coming from a low spot. So I very well could see this go way up over a period of time. Crude oil is flat. We're up against resistance. The resistance is this line coming across here. So we broke through it here. We came back. And then we're back up against resistance. Are we going to break out and hold the breakout? We'll see. I don't know. A lot of people are talking about $50 per barrel oil. That it's going to go down. But I find that hard to believe when copper is moonshotting that oil's not going to follow. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. TTF gas dropping back a little bit, 3.7%, falling back away from this resistance line above us. We've got natural gas in America right on support. We are in the weaker portion of the season for seasonality. But yeah, we're right at support. Boy, XOP, yeah, you know me, we're up underneath resistance here. So the resistance is this line going across up there. We're underneath that one, but we're above a lot of the support that's short-term coming down this way. This is a bullish flag formation where we could break higher as we entered with good momentum to the upside. Not much selling pressure, and we're hitting that resistance right above us. If we break this, it's a shoulder, head, shoulder, and it engages a big, big move. OIH is up a little bit today, almost 0.83%. We've got this rising wedge maybe, and we're above now support, so we'll see what happens. I think we're going to go way higher if crude oil breaks to the upside. I think that's kind of a given, and people are like, no, duh. If we break lower on crude oil, this very well could be resistance, and that this is a retest and we move a lot lower. That would also probably mean that your 2 and 10-year yield curve would break to the downside, not the upside. So a lot of indecisiveness here with the markets. And we're kind of like waiting for the breakouts. Now, this is a falling wedge. That generally breaks higher, which makes me think that OIH has a chance to continue up. Newcastle coal futures right at support here. We're down 1.3%, still squeezing on top of support. We've got Sprout Physical Uranium Trust down 2.5%, but we had some good buying towards the middle of the day today, coming on up. So it doesn't look bad. I think this still looks good, and everything's intact for a potential move higher if the uranium boys want to push it. Still looks good. Uranium futures pricing moving sideways, trying to find a bottom. URA down 2%. So we're getting some selling pressure in some of these. We do have a little wick at the bottom. It's not totally game over. Same with URNM. A little bit of selling pressure today, and URNJ, a little bit more selling pressure on URNJ here. Minus 3.6 and a bearish engulfing. And it is possible that we do a double bottom here, that we do something like this. Very possible. If we do that, there's your entry point. If it does something like that. Copper ripping 2.5% higher. This thing is see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. It's moonshine here. Now, copper and oil are pretty correlated. So is interest rates. So if this breaks out, if I were to guess, people are positioning in copper because they are seeing something in the economy that is strengthening around the world. Probably a supply, supply is tightening too. I would look at oil. I would look at the 2 and 10 yield curve to break to the upside, perhaps. That's what I'd be looking at next. COPX up 2%. That's starting to get some momentum. Looking good. It's still underperforming the metal itself, but moving on up there. Iron ore. This to me looks really good. I like when it kind of comes into a little formation like this from the top side down. So, or downside up. Hopefully I said that right. Aluminum coming on back from resistance, still looks fine. Yeah, we are kind of right here. We don't want it to just dive bomb down, but overall, longer term, I think it still looks really good. Shorter term, it could get a little messy here. We'll see what happens as we squeeze up into that corner. Nickel is still working its way on up. It was down slightly today. Not much selling pressure. Still looks good. Mu, again, not much selling pressure here. Down 0.42%. It is a bearish engulfing here. It's not a real good one. Usually when they're down here, when it's up here, it's a turning point. But this isn't really a turning point canvas. It's kind of weird how it showed up, like this one here. Maybe we do something like that. Emerging markets down slightly. Again, this is just waiting for a weaker dollar. And we got, dollar was basically flat. KRE, it's flat, down 0.3%. Not anything going on right now. TAN up 1%, but still looks like garbage. Lithium down 0.34. This is on top of a lot of support. I think this is going to go higher. REMX, same thing. We're barely pulling back here with very small candlesticks. This still looks very bullish to me to go higher. For rare earth metals, Baltic Dry Index up slightly, trying to get back to that average back to like 1970s. Home builders are down slightly, but we've broken out to the upside of the downtrend here. That is a continuation pattern upward in my estimation. Russell 2000 down slightly, getting some resistance right above us there. There's the resistance area. People say, oh, it's a shoulder head shoulder. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. It's not a big shoulder head shoulder if it is one. And maybe we pull back to here or something like that. S&P 500 working its way on up a little bit, right at resistance. It's that little candlestick you can barely see. We'll see what happens. And then the NASDAQ working its way on up, but still far below resistance. Look at that thing go. We've got SMCI down in a rising wedge. Those generally break lower. NVIDIA is down slightly. It's holding on. We've got some distribution candlesticks up there. Bitcoin's up slightly. It's holding on. It's underneath resistance. We'll see if we can punch through it or not. Ethereum down slightly, but still looks good to work its way on up if it wants to. Not a lot of selling pressure. MicroStrategy up 1.8, and it's starting to break out. It actually looks pretty good. And then you start looking sideways for potential resistance. And if we clear this, we start running. Not much resistance past that. The VIX is down 2%. It is pulling on back and holding in check. So that's what we've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. Specials, the coupon code. And I'll be releasing that midweek update for tomorrow, probably later tonight. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.